So I was going to do an analysis of last night's 2020 Democrat debate, presidential debate from New Hampshire. However, it lacked any substance at all. It was pretty much just 3 hours of the front runner candidates trying to one up each other on who was best able to defeat Donald Trump in the presidential election. So I'm going to switch gears here a little bit. Everybody knows that the Democrat Party has been trying for quite some time now to implement an EU style of government here in the United States. And the far left Democrats like Bernie Sanders and AOC want to go one step further and implement the Nordic system. Okay, those are countries like Norway, Finland, Denmark, Iceland. Those countries. Now, at first glance, especially with the Nordic system, it's worth a look. Okay, because at first glance they seem to be doing very well with it. Um, so we're going to delve into that, mainly the Nordic system. The EU system I'm not going to cover right now because it's pretty much trash. Okay, Britain is gone, right? They're out. Greece is on the verge of bankruptcy. France is having its own problems. In fact, under the EU system, the only country that seems to be doing any good is Germany, and that's because they have all the power in the EU Parliament. Okay, so you know, stop right there. The EU system is out. Okay, it's a failure. It's just a matter of time unless they make some major changes. It's going to be a completely different form of government. But here's the thing about whatever style of economy you prefer. Okay, to say the Nordic system is perfect for the United States is like saying peanuts are healthy. To some people, they are. To others, they're quite deadly. Okay, there's no one size fits all pair of pants. There's no one size fits all shirt or shoes. You know, nobody likes the same house. Nobody likes the same car. Okay, no two people alike. No two countries are alike. So we're going to take a closer look here at the Nordic system. See what makes it work, if it can continue to work, and if it can work for the United States. The Nordic system is essentially a combination of capitalism and socialism, meaning they embrace the free market economy while ensuring certain social benefits such as health care, education, and retirement. Now, this works largely based on a societal risk sharing scenario, meaning the public trust their government to do the right thing for them. Okay? And in the Nordic countries, for now, it works because of low government corruption. All right, some of the lowest corruption on the entire planet. Um, However, they do have to continually create incentives to keep people working because there's no guaranteed minimum wage. Wages are controlled by unions. Um, Now, the other notable thing is that large companies are state owned. Um, most Nordic countries also at least have partial ownership of all publicly listed companies. Okay, meaning the government pretty much owns all the businesses in those countries. It's not too dissimilar from China. Okay, now they're not all the same. They're not, the Nordic countries don't share the same exact system of government. There are differences. For instance, in Denmark and Norway, uh, they rely on public provisions to take care of the social welfare net, whereas Iceland is a welfare to work state. Okay, so there are subtle differences between each of those countries, but the main factor is that the people trust their government and the government trusts their people. That's something that the United States is not very familiar with. So, how do the Nordic countries do it? How have they made this special Democrat socialism work? Well, the main reason is public trust. The people trust their government. Not sure how smart that is. Most likely, the main reason is the fact that they pay some of the highest taxes on the planet, if not the highest taxes on the planet. Most Nordic countries levy a flat tax, meaning across the board, whether you make $10 a year or $10 million a year, you're going to pay the same income tax rate. And in Sweden, it exceeds 60%. As compared to the United States, the highest income tax rate is 37% on people making over $500,000 a year. So there's your main reason it works: taxes. You know, and we all hate taxes, unless you're Nordic, apparently. So what happens in the perfect Nordic model when the people become so accustomed to the government of providing everything for them that they refuse to provide for themselves? What happens when they stop going to college? What happens when they stop looking for work? Well, that's happening now. It's happening right now. Not just that, immigration. The Nordic countries have a high rate of immigration, and the values shared by these immigrants are not necessarily those shared by the native Nordic citizens. That drives costs up. The Nordic countries do not condone independence, self-reliance. They condone reliance on the government. What good is a free higher education if you don't take advantage of it? If the government's going to take care of you for the rest of your life, why do I have to go to college if my government's going to take care of me? That's happening right now. Those changes are happening in the Nordic countries right now. Changes are being made because costs are going up. Not just because of the people who are becoming dependent on all these processes, but because of the immigration, you know, of people who don't share the same values as the normal Nordic people. So, you environmental nut jobs out there might be interested in knowing these facts about the Nordic model. The Nordic model does not condone an environmental conscience. It does not. Contrary to the fact, the Nords are actually 4.5 times above their sustainable consumption rate, which is just below the United States itself. Okay. Um, the reliance on subsidized programs and the redistribution of wealth, it has it's resulted in an ecological disaster in Western Europe. you know, uh, if that's what you're shooting for, then hey, you know, I'm just saying, look, do your homework, because here I've told you some stuff that you didn't know about the Nordic model. Okay, the immigration, the fact that fewer people are going on to higher education to better themselves. Reliance on government makes you reliant. It doesn't make you free. Okay? There's another way. What we have to do is find it.